Hey everyone, so today I'd like to talk about the new Electro Catalyst user coming very soon to Genshin Impact and whether or not you should summon for her. And so, take a seat and let me tell you a few reasons why this Electro Catalyst user could become your next main or your next skipped banner. So buffs. If you've been following her upcoming release, you will know that in the beta at the moment, she has been receiving buff after buff after buff. And with the recent buffs really making her strong, it's very clear that MiHoYo is intending her to be the next big thing. Now, buffs aren't unusual during the beta stage, but oh my god, has YAE MIKO received a lot. Now this is probably due to a number of reasons. Firstly, Catalyst users have always been in an interesting spot, being very useful, but for the most part most of them are relegated to a support like role. And so YAE MIKO will be the first main DPS, main DPS Catalyst user to come since Klee, if we don't count Yanfei, who's a 4-star. And Klee on one hand is really strong but has aged quite poorly due to a clunky gameplay, but still can output a ton of damage given the right circumstances. And so if MiHoYo releases a second main DPS Catalyst user that doesn't do too well, then it's not going to be too good for the Catalyst weapon type. Now these buffs are really good, especially the most recent one, which has made her attack one of the highest in the game, up there with the likes of Shao, which is crazy, especially for a Catalyst user. Now this will be the second big Electro character to have come out of Inazuma, with Raiden being the first, who was a little shaky at the start but since has been very well received, with her getting the most banner sales out of any character. And so YAE MIKO has a lot to live up to. And so one obvious way to make sure she lives up to the hype is to make her very good. As we've seen, good characters get good sales, like for example Ganyu, who has finally recently come back to Genshin for her rerun banner and was one of the most anticipated characters due to her being extremely strong. And so I expect once her banner is over, we should see some amazing sales records. But now let's take a closer look at YAE MIKO and how she will perform in the game. So again, judging from her abilities, her talents and her constellations, she is meant to be played as a main DPS. And so firstly, if you are looking for the next big character, YAE MIKO might not be the one for you, as like most main DPS characters, they are rather similar. Their only role is to output a ton of damage and sadly do get power crept on, and as the game goes on, more and more powerful ones come out and older characters sadly get overshadowed, like Diluc, who was once the best in the game but now has seen way more powerful characters get released. And so if she had more of a support like ability, she would be much more useful, but seeing as she is just another main DPS in the long line of main DPSs, she isn't as useful as some other characters. And so if you don't have too many primo gems to spare and are looking for characters who make the most impact to your team, YAE MIKO might not be the one for you. But now, pulling isn't always about how good they are in the game. Sometimes it's about their design, and man is YAE MIKO looking amazing. Now, don't want to spoil anything, but man, her character design and burst animation is so good and is definitely a highlight of her character. But now, if you are still wondering if you should summon for YAE MIKO or not, I would say if you like her design and have the primo gems to spare, then definitely summon for her, as we don't get that many main DPS Catalyst users. And while she may be strong in terms of stats, due to the poor reactions of the Electro element, I don't see her being among the top DPSs like Ganyu for example. And so I would recommend you stay for a support like character if you want to make the most of your primo gems. Personally, as long as I have some primo gems left over after getting a rerun or two, then I will definitely try to get YAE MIKO, as I do have pity, so it shouldn't be too difficult hopefully. But now if you are gonna summon for YAE MIKO, I wish you all the best with your summons and hope you manage to get her and not another Chi-Chi. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.